It has been a second since we've sat down and just talked about the new releases, so that's what we're gonna do today. I have a ton of stuff here. Some of it I love, some of it I don't. Actually, a bit of it is PR, so I'm gonna let you know all my honest thoughts about it, and I wanna know your guys' thoughts as well if you've smelled these things, so let's just get into it. I'm gonna start with one that I was skeptical about, but I bought anyway because of the name, because of the notes, and that is the Clean Reserve Whipped Cherry. I just bought a travel size because I was like, I don't want to get played, okay? I don't want to get played. But surprisingly, I really like this one. It is a cherry scent, as the name would imply, whipped cherry, but it kind of smells like the way that a Cherry Jolly Rancher tastes. But also, I do get that whipped aspect of this. I think there is something kind of creamy and lactonic that comes through in this fragrance. So it doesn't overly smell like medicinal cherry in any way. It also, although it has fruity notes in it, this has pineapple, it has cherry, and I get that when I smell it. There's coconut water, I want to say, as well. I do get those, but I feel like it's been very well mixed and whipped and rounded out with that lactonic whipped cream, almost kind of a showery whipped cream though, not like a glass of milk or something. So I really love this. I actually think it smells kind of similar in a way to Cloud from Ariana Grande, maybe more like the Cloud Pink one, but I like this maybe better. I don't know, I went and smelled Cloud Pink against this, and I just felt like that one smelled a little bit more like synthetic and a little bit more like syrupy in a way. So I really love this, and if you were kind of on the fence on this one, I do suggest smelling it and seeing how you like it. I think it's a crowd pleaser, and I do think it's a bit of a different take on cherry. Instead of that same cherry note we've been getting, I think they did a little bit of something different, and I do think they delivered on the whipped cherry aspect of this fragrance, which I cannot say that for so many of the other fragrances. Like, we've been getting vanillas and whipped creams and marshmallows. I feel like all that's very popular right now, which I love, don't get me wrong. I love a gourmand, but I feel like sometimes that's for the marketing, okay? Sometimes that is just to get us to like look at it a second time instead of like actually being a part of the fragrance. And I think this was a nice mix. One of my favorites from the house that's come out in the last little bit. Since Skin, there's not really anything else I've loved, but this one's pretty dang good. Let me know what you think of this one. Kind of at a similar time, The Maker came out with Dream. I was intrigued by this one because it is a gourmand, but because it's The Maker and I kind of know the house a bit, I was like, I don't know how that's gonna be for like my foodie gourmand loving heart, you know? Is it gonna be the gourmand for me? And if you're looking for a photorealistic like vanilla cinnamon like yummy treat, this isn't maybe gonna be the one for you, but I think it has a place. And if you're into something a little bit more subtle, a little bit more refined when it comes to those sweet scents, I think it could be something to check out. To me, it's kind of like a floral gourmand. I do pick up, it says there's a magnolia note in here, so I don't know if I like know magnolia, the flower specifically, but I do pick up on something floral and kind of the cacao that's in here, that chocolate. There's a slight bit of cinnamon as well, but it's not overly spicy. Again, I get more of like a powdery, almost kind of resinous vanilla to me. But some of the other notes that this boasts, it has butter in it as a note. So if you were just looking at the notes, I think you'd think this was way more foodie yummy smelling. And although it is foodie and yummy, it's just not gonna be something like, I don't know, something from Kais. You know, it's not gonna be like that. There's also some caramel in here too, but I don't know, I think it's a nice offering. I think it fits again with what they have in their line, but a gourmand option from The Maker. So if that's something you're into, if you like this house a lot, or you don't like something overly foodie and realistic, but you want to dip your toes into something that's vanilla or chocolate or a little cinnamon, I would give this one a sniff. It's a nice high quality fragrance for sure. Let's talk about the Black Opium. This is the YSL Black Opium Glitter, I believe. And the thing about this one is the marshmallow note. That's what got me. I'm sure it got you. I don't know. It's been out for a second. I was really excited about this because I have been enjoying some of the Black Opiums that have come out. I like the Le Parfum. I like Over Red as well. And so I was like, holy cow, we're getting a marshmallow version, and it's marketing. It's marketing. I don't find this to be any more vanillic or marshmallowy than Le Parfum. If that's what you're looking for, a marshmallow vanilla version of Black Opium, go with Le Parfum. I wish that I had bought Over Red instead of this. I was very, very disappointed. And yeah, it's so floral. I feel like it's just Black Opium to me. Like, I am not a fan of this at all. This is reminding me why I don't usually like designer fragrances in general. Like, it's very floral, so floral. I was just really hopeful it was gonna be super yummy like that. But if you're looking into this, the orange blossom comes out so much. The jasmine, the patchouli, like you gotta like the YSL Black Opium DNA. And I do in those other two flankers the most. Otherwise, it's not really my favorite. And so this was a miss for me. Just kind of a forgetful flanker, but I do think the bottle's cute. I think the bottle is pretty, but that's kind of it. I've learned my lesson. Not happening again. Let's talk about another disappointing one. This one, again, is a little bit older. I'm bringing you back. I mean, it's not even that old, let's get real. But I mean in the scheme of new launches, you know, but this is the Sabrina Carpenter Sweet Tooth Me Espresso. And I thought this was a great release in terms of like the song Espresso. Sweet Tooth, the original fragrance, did really well, and I really like that one. The second one that came out was like a caramel one. Didn't love it. The patchouli in there, So I was hoping with this one we'd get that creamy vanilla with espresso. I will say I have 1 ounces in all the other ones, but this one didn't come in a 1 ounce, at least at the time that I ordered, and I was kind of disappointed in that because I really loved that her fragrances are more affordable, especially in this like revival of fragrance and celebrity fragrance. But having to get the big one made me have to spend the like 60 something dollars instead of the 30. Anyway, Me Espresso. Oh, I'm getting a bready note right now. I've never gotten that before. That's so interesting. When I've smelled this before, it was so floral. I was like, where are the foodie notes? Because this has notes of espresso, cappuccino, cocoa, biscuit, jasmine, vanilla orchid, whipped cream, caramel, amber. And I'm telling you, all I got was jasmine before. I was like, I barely get any of the other sweet notes. But right now I am getting biscuit, but to me it's more bready than it is a biscuit. So that's so interesting. Things change. Your nose changes. Everything changes. Depends on where you are, what's happening, all that. I like it a little bit more actually right now than I have, but where's the espresso? Where's the coffee? I do not get coffee really at all from this. It's so interesting, especially because of the name. I thought it would be very coffee heavy, but I'm telling you, I don't get any coffee. I'm just getting bread right now. I'm getting sweet bread. That's it. Not how I was expecting to review this right now. Like in my head, what I thought of it is not what I'm smelling. So it's kind of disconnected at the moment. Like it's akin to Creme Couture right now. I still like Creme Couture way more, but it's more in line with that right now. It's so weird, but if the bread keeps up, this definitely places second for me, but Sweet Tooth is definitely still the winner. I really like that one. I think it's a nice creamy sweet vanilla that's kind of fluffy too, so that's the one I recommend out of all of her fragrances. But let me know what you get from this. Do you get something more floral? Do you get the espresso? Do you get the cappuccino? Do you get the kind of bready note that I'm getting right now? Let me know, because this thing's a shapeshifter. Let's talk about a few of the new ones. I have Ellis Brooklyn Marshmallow Body Mist here. I was really excited. They sent this to me actually. Vanilla Sin, I believe, is the last body mist that came out, and I liked that one okay. Like I can see people liking it. I could see it being something, a nice quality fragrance. It's not one of my particular favorites. I didn't even know this was coming out. It was just in the package and I was like, holy crap, it says marshmallows. I'm like, what the hell is this? I'm so excited. And it is marshmallow for sure. It actually reminds me a bit of Vanilla Sin because it is a fluffy vanilla, don't get me wrong. It doesn't have that like cherry note that Vanilla Sin has, but I do think there's something similar about the way the vanilla's done, and it has that kind of spicy patchouli base on it. So that being said, it's sweet, it's fluffy, it's yummy, but it is a little bit more of a substantial vanilla, and I do think, again, I think people are either gonna love this, maybe you won't smell the patchouli at all, maybe you won't even factor that in and it's gonna be an amazing vanilla marshmallow scent for you. And on one hand, I get that, I smell that, I like that, you know? But in the dry down especially, it does come out a little bit, and it comes out almost like a cologne-y scent, or again, something a little bit spicy on it, the way the patchouli is, and it does just add a richness, it adds a little bit of a thickness, and I think it makes it a little bit longer lasting, but also gives it, again, just more of a substantial quality about it, and I understand why a fragrance would want to do that. Like, instead of just being basic vanilla, basic marshmallow, but you know, I think we all, or a lot of us, like a basic marshmallow too. So it's just a take on marshmallow, and I feel like, again, people are either gonna love it, it's gonna be your favorite, or potentially that patchouli note could be something that you don't like. I'd love to know, again, if you've got your nose on this. I think this is still relatively new. I don't even know if it's launched yet, so I definitely wanted to get my thoughts out on this, so hopefully, you know, maybe don't blind buy it. I don't know if it's just like a hell yeah blind buy it for me. Again, I could see people telling me this is their favorite, and I get it, and I'm like, yeah, I see that, but I also do for sure get that patchouli, and I feel like that's a note that not everyone's down with. And if you are just like, a no-go on patchouli. This isn't gonna be for you. I feel like maybe, it's not like, I do not want you to think this is like Kayali Vanilla 28, but I feel like the more I revisit that fragrance, the more I do pick up on that like deeper patchouli note. And I feel like if you really pick it up in that fragrance, I think that will maybe be an indicator for you if this would be a yes or a no. That all being said, it's my favorite body mist from them, I would say. I think so. I think it's my favorite one. And I do think that they make some of the best body mist when it comes to packaging and the sprayer. It is elite. Elite. I can't deny in that opening and in that beginning of the fragrance, so I do like it. It is fluffy. It is marshmallows. I do get the marshmallows. It just has that kind of deeper, spicy something going on. Let me know your thoughts on it if you've smelled it. I'll keep it moving with another new one. This is Phlur's Golden Rule. I did get sent this. I don't know if I would have just bought it because it is kind of floral heavy. It's jasmine and some solar notes as well. I feel like this is gonna get us into kind of bridging the gap into spring, summer, that type of thing. And I think for a floral, this is gonna be a crowd pleaser. It is sweet and it kind of is syrupy, a little juicy even with those, I still think, heavy floral in there. You know, upon smelling this, I feel like this is a more widely likable version of Instant Crush from Mancera. I don't know, let me know if you think that. Maybe I'm off, but I just feel like there's a combination in here that just makes me think of Instant Crush. Instant Crush though has like ginger. It's a little bit more powdery and buzzy from that ginger, at least to me. And also I feel like the sweetness in this one, that syrupiness, comes through immediately, whereas I feel like it kind of builds up in a way as you wear Instant Crush. And this one's a bit more solar as well. It feels a little bit more summery. So like a summery, sweeter, more wearable or likable fragrance. Although I feel like Instant Crush is super likable, it does feel more niche, if that makes sense. That's what I'm trying to say with that. The only thing is, in the dry down of this, it does become a bit powdery for me. I don't particularly love that. I wish it stayed with that kind of juicy, sweet opening. Let me get you some notes on this. Okay, pear, mandarin, pink pepper in the top. There's orange flower water, coconut milk, jasmine, and then vanilla benzoin and sandalwood in the base. So I do think it's a solid launch. I think that a lot of people are gonna like it. I think it smells good. It's just not quite for me. And again, that dry down, for some reason, it's just a little more powdery than I would particularly like. And if I had to choose this or Instant Crush, which I know notes wise doesn't seem like they're similar. Again, this has that coconut. It's a little bit more fruity, juicy, tropical. I'm gonna pick Instant Crush over this, but I still think it's good. Again, let me know your thoughts. I wanna know what you guys think of these two because again, they're like the new ones out and I love hearing your guys' thoughts. We all smell stuff so different. Last couple of things at Sephora. I do have the new Rare Beauty. I decided to pick this up. I don't love the other Rare Beauty fragrance. How annoying, I'm like shaking it up and talking to you. This is the Find Comfort Awaken Confidence. The names, I wish it was just like Peach Blossom. Just name it that to be honest, but whatever. It's that like dual layer, so you do need to shake it up. And I do like this one more than the first one for sure. There's something about this. I mean, peach, you're either gonna love peach or not. This to me is a little bit more of a greener peach, a fresher peach. It's not overly sweet. I don't know, it's pretty good. It's kind of fresh. It makes me excited for spring. Yeah, it's kind of nice. My issue with the other body mist besides the smell is the fact that it was a little like, do not spray this on your hardwood floor. You're gonna need a mop afterward. It's just a little more oily because of the way that this is made. I don't know if it has alcohol in it. For the notes on that one, it's peach nectar, sparkling lemon, orange flower, black pepper, blue cyclamen, jasmine, apricot blossom, lavender, white sandalwood, skin musk, crisp amber. And I just think, again, it's a nice balance of the peach and those other notes where it doesn't go syrupy, and I think it kind of freshens, and I feel like it's an elevated body mist. Like, I think this came out with a lotion as well, and I could see those pairing just really nicely. Again, a nice little spring vibe, and I was pleasantly surprised. I was pleasantly surprised with this one. I didn't know how it was gonna be, but I do like it, and I do find it different than a lot of other peach stuff out there, so pretty good on this one. I thought I would update you with the Skylar scent of the month. This was last month, and actually they're coming out with a new one called like milk and something. It's like oat milk. Oh, okay, we'll talk about that in a second. Let me talk about the one I have here. This is Sweet Nothings, and the reason I want to talk about this is because I just have a little spider sense feeling, a tingling little sensation that they may be, or they should, I think that they should come out with this in a full bottle, because this is very similar kind of to Boardwalk Delight, but I feel like it doesn't have that cleaner smell, like that kind of long laundry detergent, dryer sheet, like solar thing that Boardwalk Delight has. If you don't know, that one's like vanilla, cotton candy, coconut milk, but it has this kind of clean, soapy almost smell to it. I feel like this is similar to that, but it doesn't have that soapiness, and instead this is giving us more of just the creamy lactonic scent. Here's the full list of notes: orange sorbet, strawberry leaves, dragon fruit. Middle notes: pink, peony, magnolia, lily of the valley. Base notes: vanilla bean, cotton candy, musks, and amber. So again, it feels like almost a flanker of Boardwalk Delight, and I smell them next to each other. They are slightly different, just slightly. And I think a lot of people would like this, especially too if you were just on the cusp, like there's just something about Boardwalk Delight that doesn't work with you. I feel like Sweet Nothing could be the one that does. So we'll see. I don't know. Maybe they won't come out with it. I still get the Scent Club. I pay for this myself. If you don't know, they do a monthly fragrance every month. It's monthly, so every month. And Boardwalk Delight started that way as well. The only thing I hate about the freaking Scent Club is that they are roller balls. I believe they do that so it could be like recyclable, but I wish they were spray vials. I wish they would just change that. Please just change that. But pretty good. A noteworthy Scent Club, I will say. And I just am like, I wonder if that one would get hype. I feel like I'm like the only one that subscribes to their Scent Club monthly, but I thought this was a good one. I really liked it, and I would love to have it in a spray bottle in a full size. Yeah, it's good. It's like a creamy cotton candy. Like, who doesn't love that? A little fruity, but not overly. It's good. It's good. But let's talk about the new one coming out. I will keep you updated on if it's good. Maybe I'll do a short. I don't know. I don't want to promise you anything. I am still just trying to get my life together from last year and just all the advent calendars. I just posted that Lush video, but anyway, the new Skylar scent for the month. I think this is for January, I believe. It's called Milk and Chill. It has oat milk, brown sugar, creamy warm vanilla. Sounds good. That one sounds good too. So I'm excited to see how that actually is. I mean, Skylar kind of has a pretty prominent DNA about them, so I think it will be Skylarified, if that makes sense, but I am interested. It feels like the most lactonic kind of scent that I've seen them kind of attempt, so I'll keep you posted. All right, I only have a few more. We're gonna wrap it up soon. This is a little bit older, but I wanted to mention it from Lake and Skye. They sent me this one, and this one's called Citrus Blonde. I really love the 1111 Vanilla. If you haven't heard me talk about that one's so good. And this falls in line with the house. They do a lot of like musky kind of skin scent stuff, things that kind of carry on the wind, your scent but better. And this one's like a citrusy, like clean musk version. And I think it's just a really easy wear. This isn't a scent that is like my favorite profile, but I do enjoy it. It's one that if it's really hot outside, I don't really want. Okay, my camera just shut off. I swear it's issue after issue, but we're persevering, we're pushing through. I do find this fragrance is just super wearable, great for high heat, and it's one that when I just don't want anything else on me, maybe I'm just like not feeling something sweet, I don't want to be weighed down by a fragrance, I think this is a great option. There are a lot of stuff in this category, but this is a nice version of that kind of scent. For a full list of notes: Australian pink pepper, there's Italian bergamot, wild orchid, jasmine petals, peach blossom, there's crisp amber, cedarwood, and Indonesian patchouli. Don't be scared by the patchouli. I really wouldn't have known that patchouli was in here without reading the notes, so I don't get that. It's more about those crispy musks and crispy ambers. It smells clean. Again, if you like Lake and Skye stuff and you want like a little bit of a citrus, slightly peachy floral twist on their stuff, I think this is a nice option. I do like it. I have the newest one from Noyz here. This is 12 o'clock. Is that how you say it? I don't know, but this is kind of, I feel like their version of Baccarat. Like whenever I smell something similar, I'm like, oh, they're trying to do a Baccarat thing, and I feel like that's what this is, although it is way more fruity also. I don't know if raspberry's in here, let me check the notes, but that's what I get from it. It's definitely fruity for sure. All right, here's the notes. Australian pink pepper, it's getting around, it's in everything. Jasmine petals, raspberry, I knew it. There's something about a raspberry note that tends to add something quite sweet to me, like sweet and sometimes a more sweet than you could expect, like kind of synthetic, kind of like fake sweetener packet sweet. Comes with raspberry usually to my nose. There's creamy blonde woods and Broxton spun sugar. So again, you can see the jasmine in here, you see the woods, you see the spun sugar. Again, I feel like it's that kind of Baccarat DNA, but this is like the fruitier raspberry version, and I do like this. Sometimes the fruit on it though goes almost into a little ripe, like it's smelling right on the cusp of being too ripe, if you will. But I think it's great. I still really like it. Again, quite sweet, definitely in that Baccarat vein. Okay, it's like a spectrum. Okay. I I mean, nothing compares to the original to me. I'm sorry. There are some good dupes out there, don't get me wrong, but you guys know my love. You guys know my love, my passion for it. I'm obsessed with it, but you know, maybe something to check out if you're into that DNA, don't want to pay that price. This is more affordable overall. And again, if you want something raspberry, maybe that's a favorite note of yours, could be something to check out. I do like this, and when I think of the house, I do like Unmute, I think it is. That's the vanilla. That one's really good too. More of like a ambery, musky skin scent vanilla than like super sweet and edible, but a nice one as well. That one and this are my two favorites from the line. I think the last few things I want to talk about are more in body care and stuff. I just thought I would mention. Speaking of versions of Baccarat, Salt and Stone, they sent me this, but they just came out with the body mist of it as well. And if you were wondering what Saffron and Cedar from them smelled like, it's definitely their take on Baccarat. And I do like their body mist quite a bit. The bergamot, I think it is. There's a bergamot one they have. That one smells really good. Probably my favorite. It's musky, kind of goes along with the citrus blonde scent from like in Skye, like in that same vein. Anyway, I've been enjoying the body wash. Even my husband, I just put this in the shower and he already used it and was like, that smells good. I was like, okay, wow, you scoped out the new body wash in there. I'm realizing right now you're probably like, well, yeah, how many body washes are in there? A lot. For him to scope out the new one, it's kind of a big deal, okay? Anyway, I'm excited to smell the actual body mist at some point, but I thought I would just mention, since it's kind of new in body care and fragrance, at Sephora, and I like keeping up with what's at Sephora. Saffron and Cedar is a nice one to maybe check out. The other body wash I really like is the Sol de Janeiro one, the shower oil in the Cheirosa 59, I think it is, the purple. Ooh, smells so good. I got a mini of it, already used it up. I know it's been out a little bit, but definitely worth it. I think I like the way that it smells in the body wash more than I do even the body mist. There's something about the way the vanilla is. And because it's a shower oil, I do find it to be a little bit more moisturizing. It still suds up really nice and it doesn't leave me greasy, but I do feel like more, you know, just like my skin feels good when I get out of the shower. So love that. Definitely want to purchase the big size of it. Actually, a perfume I don't have, but I wanted to mention because I was in a department store and I saw the new Jo Malone. It's called Taif Rose. Is that what it's called? Yeah, something like that. It's in a purple bottle. It's a little bit shorter. It kind of looks like the Scarlet Poppy in the shorter bottle, but again, purple. It smells really good. I am tempted by that one actually, which is so surprising. The notes I know, damask, rose, amber, and coffee, but it smells really toasted. It's very sweet, especially I feel like for a Jo Malone fragrance. I do get the rose and the floral there, but if you're into something like Intense Cafe from Montal, I feel like it's in that vein, you know, rose and coffee, but I really liked that one. I really liked it. I want to smell it again on my skin because it's a little just outside of my comfort zone or like my normal, like, you know, if it's vanilla and I smell on the first try and I like it, it's probably gonna be a pretty safe one for me, but I feel like that one, I'm like, I gotta smell it again and see how much I really like it. But I did want to shout it out because I think it's worth giving a sniff, and usually because it's Jo Malone, you know, okay, florals for Jo Malone, not necessarily revolutionary, but that one's, it's a little different. I really do like it, and I think it might be limited, but it's good. Maybe like a Valentine's Day scent too. I don't know. I like that one a lot. But last, the newest thing I have from Snif, I know they have a new fragrance called Me. I haven't smelled that yet, so I'll keep you updated if I get my nose on it. But this is the Winter Wander candle, and I do have a code with Snif. I'm affiliated with them, so you can use that if you want to save money. But they launch so much. I think I counted up how many launches they had last year, just fragrance-wise, between them and the No Noses Inc., and it was like 8 or something. It was so many, and that's not even counting the candles. But anyway, Winter Wander, this is a part of their like half-baked smash series. Yeah, on the bottom it's half-baked Winter Wander, and so it does have these kind of gourmand foodie elements. It's so interesting though because there is something kind of fruity, even a little bit floral, a very unique scent, I will say that. It says it's vanilla, but again, there's something almost chocolatey about it as well, and there's also something kind of fruity. To me, it's like if every Bath and Body Works candle came together, every single one. So you have all those foodie ones that smell so delicious. You also have the fruity ones that smell so delicious. You have some of the more like girly floral ones. It's like all of them together, I'm telling you. But what they say is like actually in here, vanilla, brown sugar, forest pepper, mistletoe, frosted fir, Siberian pine, tonka bean. It must be the combination of those creamy elements and sweet elements of the vanilla and brown sugar with those kind of green like piney and like fresher things that are kind of causing this clash where you simultaneously smell, yes, the vanilla and that ooey gooey kind of baked treat, but also fresh pine and like a sweetness from that in a totally different way that kind of comes across and makes it seem, again, kind of fruity, kind of just an anomaly. It's unique. It's so unique. I do think it's quite strong as well. I do like it. I do, but there's something about it. It's interesting, I will say. So let me know your thoughts if you smelled this, especially because I do think it's quite a different candle from a lot of stuff I've smelled. But I'm gonna wrap it up here. I just wanted to update you guys on what I've been sniffing, what I think about it. I think these might be my top picks if I had to say. Whipped cherry. I'm thinking about what I'd actually spray myself, what I'm wearing. I do like the whipped cherry quite a bit. I do still like the marshmallow. I know I kind of was like on the fence, but I still think it's worth definitely a sniff. I don't want to like discourage you from it, but I also don't want to just tell you it's the best, it's amazing, you have to have it, because you know, I could see people having some issues with it. Skylar Sweet Nothing, wish it was out in a bottle. And when it comes to perfumes, not counting like the body care, that type of stuff, I do like the Citrus Blonde too when I'm really thinking about wearing. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know your thoughts on any of these fragrances. Let me know what I've missed. I'm pretty behind. Again, I do have a few Advent calendars. I have 2 that I filmed. Let me know if you still want them. There's a part of me that's like, should I just move on? Do you want me to edit those and get them to you? Let me know. I also do want to do some type of wrap up for 2024, but I'm getting kind of overwhelmed thinking about how I'm gonna do it. So if you have thoughts, like, do you wanna know the best gourmands of 2024? Do you wanna know the best vanillas? Do you wanna know just my top 10? Like, what are you thinking? What sounds good to you? Let me know any of your thoughts on that if you have any, but I'm gonna leave it here. I'm rambling. I'm so rambly. I missed you guys, and I can't wait to have more content over here this year. Okay, bye.